Hi guys, my name's Dylan. For those of you who do not know, I used to be a Jehovah's Witness back in the day, and also one of my goals for 2018 was my main goal was to not lose myself, and I think in order to not lose yourself, you kind of have to remember your roots a bit. So that's kind of what today is. Background story as to what led up to this video. Just again, trying to remember my roots, trying to keep myself grounded, and just remember where I came from, kind of thing. And then one of my housemates the other day, she was like, "Hey, I have some leftover green dye if you want to put it in your hair." And I was like, "Okay, why not?" Because I honestly, I actually, I don't know, it's just kind of like, whatever, I don't really care kind of thing. And it's not like, oh, I don't care, screw that. It's more like, oh, whatever. Like, that's kind of my whole vibe with all that. I just kind of like, just whatever, like, why not do it, you know? When I got the green hair dye, I remembered this story. And it was it was when I was a Jehovah's Witness. And it was the most absolutely memorable door I have ever had. And a lot of the doors I had as Jehovah's Witnesses I can't remember at all to this day. Like, none of them really left any impact in my life. Because as a Jehovah's Witness, in case for those of you who don't know, I had to go door to door basically since birth. Since the womb, since I was in my mom's stomach, like I would just I would always go door to door, even as a baby, even as a toddler, even as a young kid. I was just always going door to door, and it wasn't until I was like, I don't know, 11 or 12 that I started going to doors like without my parents. I started going with other people in the congregation, and then it would be other people. It eventually led up to other friends that I would go door to door with. And, like as a Jehovah's Witness, you're going door to door talking to people about Jesus and about we would talk about current things going on in the world too in order to be more relatable to people we talk to at the door. And so one of the most memorable doors I ever had, probably like the only door I actually truly remember vividly. It was when I was, I think, 15ish. I was with my best friend at the time, and it was, fun fact, the guy that the coming out video was about, the guy that like I ended up falling in love with. It was his turn to talk at the door, and he was a little skittish. I mean, it's nerve-wracking, guys. You're at someone's door on the weekend talking to them about Jesus and telling, I don't know, just like it's a nerve-wracking thing, guys. Like, try doing that for 18 years. It definitely leaves an impact in your life. It was actually fairly local, the door we were at. And this girl with green hair comes up. That's why like I remembered this story, because the green hair dye. This girl with green hair comes up. She's like, "Hello." He says hi and starts doing his presentation and whatever. And I remember midway through the presentation, she cut him off. Like, totally stopped him. She's like, "Let me stop you right there." And he froze, because, like I said, it's very nerve-wracking to show up at someone's door talking about God on a Saturday morning. She's like, "Why are you here?" As a Jehovah's Witness, we were taught like a lot of maneuvers and tactics to just like to help explain to people our aspects and viewpoint on things and why we're there and all that. And I butt in and I started saying something about like, "Oh, we're just here to," I don't remember. I try to block out a lot of that part of my life, to be honest. But she's like, "No, but why are you really here?" And I stopped and I was like, I didn't quite understand what she meant. And she said, "You guys, you're both so young." My friend was younger than me. He was like a year younger. And I was, we're both teenagers, like mid-teens. And she's like, "Why are you guys here? Like, you have so much. You guys have so much ahead of you. But here you are on a Saturday morning at my door talking to me about God." I was kind of speechless at that point. And her friend ended up coming to the door too. And at this point, I kind of realized like it was a college house. Like, these girls, I'm assuming, went to school across. They're renting out the house together, from my viewpoint, I guess. Um, but they both start. It's not like they were ganging up on us at all. They were just trying to help us see that like there's so much. The other girl butted in and she's like, "You realize that this is Saturday morning. You could be at home watching cartoons. Like, you could be doing all this stuff, but you're at my door. Why is that? What do you guys want? Like, what are you trying to get out of this? And I was kind of speechless at that point. I was trying to, reason with her why I was there, but that was basically it. Because after that, she said, I'm sorry. She's like, we're not interested, but I forgot what she said. The last thing she said was, but it was basically like, we're not interested, but there's a lot more out there for you guys. And then I said, thank you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. She said, you do too. And that was that. And it was really super, super short. It was super short. We weren't there for too long. And she also didn't say too much either. That was basically all she said. And it was, no matter like how little she said, it was probably the most life-changing conversation I had. At 15 years old, being raised as a Jehovah's Witness, it was like, I didn't have much of a say of what I wanted growing up, especially with my father being, head of the church as an elder. Sorry, I call it a church, guys. In case you guys didn't know, when I say church, I mean Kingdom Hall. For those of you who are more informed about Jehovah's Witnesses, like I said, I block a lot of that part out of my life, and in order to relate it to people within my life now, I call it a church. So just heads up, it's called Kingdom Hall, really, like in real life. My dad was head of the Kingdom Hall as an elder, and being raised within an elder's household, I wasn't given much of a say of what I really thought or what I really wanted in life. Like, it was kind of all handed to me, like, you're gonna be baptized, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do this, but at 15 years old, when for 15 years of my life I was told what to do, this one girl, random girl, probably like, I don't know, 5 years older than me, told me to go live my life and do something that makes me happy rather than just doing it unwillingly, I guess. Like, rather than just going out doing what I'm told, think for myself for once. And again, I was never ever told that before. That was the first time I was ever told, do what you want and do what makes you happy. And then here I am, like 7 years later, and that is my mantra for life. That is my overall goal, I guess. That's my everything, honestly. I want to do what makes me happy. I want to do everything that comes to mind, just if I think that's going to make me happy, I'm going to do it, kind of thing, Of course, in a smart way. I want to think things through before I actually do it. But it was such a small conversation. That was basically the seed that was planted in my head that was like, it was just a life-changing experience, as weird as that sounds. And it's so funny because the girl with the green hair said so little but left one of the biggest impacts in my life. And that's insane to think about, because she'll never probably know what impact she left in my life. One of the main reasons why I ended up becoming who I am today. And she'll never know that. The girl with the green hair, I thank you. Like, thank you so much for telling me to think for myself, Like, life's been a journey, but I would not be who I am today without her, as weird as that sounds. Sure, I wouldn't be who I am today without multiple people within my life and within my past persuading me to go down certain roads and helping me down certain paths. But that lady with the green hair was one of the people who led me to who I am today, and for that I am forever thankful. One of the reasons for this, besides, my roommate saying, yo, I have some green hair dye, here you go, I was like, okay. It did flash me back to that door, and it's crazy to think about that one random door as a Jehovah's Witness was able to change my life so much. But it did. So, girl with the green hair, thank you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment below, subscribe, then you get to see more of me. And, guys, like, my overall mantra is positive vibes as well. So, I'm sending you guys all the positive vibes. All of the positive vibes. It was like a necessary thing to reminisce on, I guess. you know, just remember your roots, guys. Remember where you came from, because even though the past doesn't necessarily, I don't know, I'm weird with the past. Like, even though the past doesn't matter to me, it still made up who I am today, so it's important. But my past doesn't define me. As weird as that sounds, it's like a whole like little mindset I have, you know? But even though my past doesn't define me, it made me who I am. Does that make sense, guys? I don't think that makes sense, but in my head it makes sense, so whatever. Anyways, guys, again, thank you. You guys are awesome. Like, thank you guys so much for staying tuned this whole time and just like, oh, you guys are awesome. Bye, guys.